What's up, everyone? This is Evan with Crypto Cash Camp, and today we're going to jump in and talk about TIME Wonderland and all the stuff that's going on over there, including TIME wMEMO and what's going on in the market in general, which is dipping a lot right now, the buybacks on wMEMO, and the FUD, all about that. ETH dominance, and we're going to take a look at DeFi Llama and see what happened for the first time with ETH dominance ever. We're going to jump into wMEMO staking ops. So if you still have wMEMO and you want to be making some passive income on it, the buybacks are happening, so the price is level. That's a good thing to consider, so we're going to jump into that. We're going to talk about the proposal that was just voted in for the DAO that's great for TIME. And we're going to look into another proposal that hasn't been pushed through yet, but it's for stopping TIME dilution. We're going to finish, stick to the end, and we're going to talk about the airdrops. So let's jump into it right now. So my name's Evan, and we talk about passive income opportunities in the DeFi space. So if you are interested in more of these opportunities, consider subscribing and make sure you comment some of the projects that you're in, because I love collaborating with you guys. But let's jump into it. So right now, let's just look at the price. This is crazy. So right now the price is semi-steady, compared to the overarching market. It's doing all right, I would say. So if we look over to wMEMO, it is a little bit down, and some of you guys may be going, okay, why is this down? Isn't there a buyback that should happen at 50,000? It's right now it's 48,000. What's going on? And this is really confusing to me as well, because I see, like, what's 52,000, 52. If we go to 7 days, where's the last time it hit 52? It was right over here on the 21st, so yesterday. So this is what Danny says. It's like, TIME Wonderland has limit orders to buy back wMEMO at the backing price. If you don't believe me in this project anymore, prefer to listen to FUD and bots, whatever. Okay, so, that's not exactly true right now, because it's not a buyback happening. However, you can kind of see that there is a buyback that happens sometimes here, like when there's massive volume, there could be a buyback happening at this moment, but for some reason it's at 47. It should be at 52. The buyback hasn't happened. What I did see from the Sifu, I think that's his name, the guy who's in charge of the Treasury of TIME, said there is $100 million allocated to TIME in terms of what they're going to do for the buyback. So 100 million of the billion is going to go to the buyback. So I don't know where they're spending all their money, and it's not very transparent, but I don't think the 100 million has been spent yet, but a good portion of it has. So the rest of that they're going to use as a SPAC, and they're going to buy a whole bunch of small cap companies in the crypto space, in like metaverse, gaming, NFTs, kind of infrastructure and utilities. And that's what they're planning on doing with this treasury balance, not just buying back all the time with it. So just to get you guys posted on that. So this is what I want to talk about in terms of decentralized finance. 1 year ago, guys, what was it, January, we were at 4% non-Ethereum DeFi in terms of total locked value. Now, look at this. We have, for the first time, gone right here below 60%. So now Ethereum has 60% dominance, and the rest of DeFi, Avalanche, Phantom, Binance, Polygon have 40%. This is huge. I feel that ETH dominance is going to continue to decline. No one talks about this as the rest of DeFi keeps, getting stronger, and ETH is not doing layer 2, which is making it way too expensive to use for all of us, people who are not whales. All right, so let's look at this. And Daniele, we can look at some of his tweets. But before we do that, let's look at this one. We're going to talk about what can we do to actually stake stake wMEMO. So they just released this, and I was like, okay, great, this is awesome. We can make a bunch of money staking wMEMO, but it's annoying because they don't tell you an APR. And I'm seriously, it was just 1 million last time I looked in terms of total locked value, and now I don't see it. So if any of you guys can figure out a back-end way of finding the ROI should be listed right here. It's not. So I don't know. I don't like to put something in unless I know the ROI. that's where we're going to move on to a second staking op, not the highest APR, but Spirit Swap. Was it 300? Now it's at 61%. So that's not horrible, but not a bad way. You got to pair it with MEM. So say you have $1,000 of wMEMO, you need to pair that with $1,000 of MEM, create an LP token. Right here we go to exchange. We go to liquidity, you add liquidity, equal parts, you max out, probably you have a max of wMEMO, max that out, and then you add the MEM, and then you create the LP token, then that token gets added to your wallet, then you go back over here to the farm, and then you would just search for wMEMO. Anyways, it's there somewhere. And then you would just add it right there. Approve, connect. Same thing. So it's a very simple process of adding this liquidity. Same process for Morpheus Swap, but a much higher APR. So wMEMO, look at the two opportunities. Look, you don't want to pair it with Phantom because there's a lot of volatility. I would rather pair it with a MEM. So look at this. You're getting 180%, and then they're incentivizing you with their farm with an added token called Neo. I don't know about Neo. Is it a locked coin? Is it immediately liquid? So you got to read the white paper about that to see if this is a super valuable coin. But 348. While there's a little bit of a buyback, and keeping wMEMO at a pretty steady price could be a good way to utilize your wMEMO. So let's look over here. Okay, so this is something that just actually got passed, and this is the liquid staking proposal for Wonderland. And what we're going to look at and jump into is what's going on with this. So what they're essentially trying to do with this liquid staking proposal is, you can see they're trying to create a way for people to stake and do it on the AVAX chain, because that hasn't happened much. And pretty much what they're trying to do is a small, 5% of the market cap of Lido. And what Lido does is it is a liquid staking opportunity that allows people to earn about 5% on Ethereum, 8% on Terra, 6% on Solana. Super safe, a great way to do it, but of course the gains aren't very good. And they feel they can wrap up a bunch of liquidity with all their popularity, I think, on the Avalanche chain. So since these guys have Ethereum, Terra Luna, Solana, they want to throw an Avalanche one together and probably do it on their own website. So that got approved, and that could bring a bunch of liquidity over the TIME Wonderland and really help out the protocol. All right, so that was passed. This is to be passed. Will it be passed? And this allows the TIME Wonderland DAO to vote to actually make wMEMO sustainable and to quit the dilution of all these endless, not MEMs, but memos being printed more or less, to the point that it's making this protocol more or less unsustainable, because as exponential growth happens, they're creating like infinite amount of coins. They need to harness that in a little bit so the token price stops from just falling. Okay, option number one, monthly burning schedule to create zero dilution. Phase 2 was after 6 months. They're gonna aim to create a deflative time token. So they're trying to do a lot of burning. Number 2 is they're gonna actually sell tokens sold back to the Wonderland due to liquidation below the backing price. If it was liquidated, I think on Abracadabra, a snapshot will be proposed to burn all those tokens that were liquidated on Abracadabra. Okay, this is interesting. And number 3 is do nothing. So any of these, if approved, will help out the protocol. So I do not know how long it'll take for this vote to happen, but it's coming up soon. All right, now we need to get into what the heck are these guys doing in terms of Osirfu. I can't even say that name. Anyways, airdrop. This is the airdrop time. So right now we're gonna look at what's going on. I know I've released, I told you about BetSwap. There's not a whole lot of updates about the airdrop, but a new proposal has come up, and Danny has mentioned it, so we're gonna jump into that. But there is BetSwap they've purchased with the TIME Treasury, so there should be an airdrop for that. and just reached a 1B valuation, which is huge. They also just bought this Across the Ages card NFT game. Don't know much about that. Another thing they're getting into, betting, NFTs, infrastructure, metaverse. So they're going to be in a few other more projects. I mean, let's look at this. They got 800 million to play around with, so they got something to do. All right, now let's move on to this part right here, which is, this is a great guy, DeFi Edge. Follow him if you want. He's got some really good breakdowns of wMEMO, time, all this stuff to help simplify it and make it a little bit easier to understand. But according to Daniele and this guy who is the Treasury manager of TIME Wonderland, it's going to be moving to a revenue sharing model. So you'll be able to stake wMEMO and earn rewards. What the heck does this look like? So you have wMEMO. You've taken, you have time, you staked it, you get a memo. With that memo, you wrap it right here. You wrap it with this button, memo to wMEMO. You just get a small portion of what your memo is, but the idea is all the rebases happen within the wMEMO. So if you have one wMEMO, it'll stay one. It should just be getting bigger as the rebases happen. And that's just explaining it real quick. So if you have these wMEMOs, what they're proposing is that they have all these projects they're getting into. So what you're going to do is you're going to stake your wMEMO here, and then you're going to start earning from all their different investments they have. So you're going to have a little bit of MIM you'll get, maybe a little ETH, I doubt ETH or AVAX, but you'll be getting BSGG, CTA, and project after project after project. So more or less, by holding wMEMO, you will be like the holder of a SPAC. And a SPAC is Special Purpose Acquisitions, which buys a whole bunch of different protocols and pretty much starts giving you some of the gains as they come through. So that'll be super interesting. I do not know the timeline. There is no timeline on this, but it just seems pretty interesting. So I know this was quick and it was fast, but if you like this content, please consider subscribing. I am also launching a Enter the DeFi course about everything to do with DeFi, how to on-ramp, bridge, every little bit about it, including the opportunities and the ways of tracking. Because if you're not tracking, you don't know what you're making, you don't know what you should put more money into. So it's just a massive course about everything that I've put together over the last couple of years. So link should be in the description. Please fill it out. It's not ready yet, but if you get on the email list, you will be the first to get a heavy discount on the launch of that course. So yeah, if you like this content, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys on the next video.